SABC has been deciding to brave the Black Friday crowds for us, and she's at one of her really busy malls at the moment here in Johannesburg, the Mall of Africa in Midrand. Let's go there now live and catch up with her. Palesa, is there still a hive of activity there, or are the crowds starting to die down as the evening starts to make its way?
Listen, Peter, nothing has changed. In fact, I'm starting to see them now come in large numbers. I think it's because it's after hours now. People have knocked off now. They, coming out in their large numbers. So as I said during our previous crossing, that there are some people who are actually spending money that they do not have. Let's now have a chat with Jimmy Holele. He, of course, is the acting manager, educational communications from the National Credit Regulatory to talk to us more about this. Jimmy, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much indeed for coming through.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the listeners as well.
I know you've been here for a few hours. During midnight last night, you went around some shopping malls to see how consumers were doing. So what are your impressions?
I have not personally gone out, but I've been checking the news either on Twitter or on television, and we have seen that consumers have gone out in their numbers as it was expected to take part in Black Friday. And then, well, obviously the accompanying Cyber Monday. And then as the National Credit Regulator, we acknowledge that Black Friday is a day which adds a lot to our economy, in that there is a lot of spending which boosts our economy. However, we also get worried because in the process of buying, there will be consumers who may end up being over-indebted.
Let's talk about that a little, because you were telling me earlier on that the problem is people are spending money they do not have. Let's talk about that.
True, there will be consumers who will be participating in this Black Friday because they have saved, planned and budgeted for this event. However, there will be consumers who still want to take part in this Black Friday and Cyber Monday who have unfortunately not budgeted for this event. And as a result, they will either end up buying these items on credit, or they will go to credit providers or machonistas and borrow money to partake in this Black Friday. The danger with that is, though the items may be on discount in the shops, if they are buying them on credit, the cost of credit will probably push the price back high up, and then as a result they will not have scored any discount at all. And then to make matters worse, this may lead to them being over-indebted. Black Friday comes just before Christmas, which is also another season where consumers go all out to spend and when they celebrate the festivities. And then this is worse because it's followed up by one of the longest months in the year, which is January. And in January, people must still pay electricity, they must buy food, they must pay transport for kids to go to school. And by that time, you find that they have used up to their last cents, they have maxed their credit cards, and then they can't even borrow money. And then that sometimes even leads them to borrowing from the rogue lenders who will not do any affordability assessments, will just give them credit and then take their ID cards and their bank cards, and then which becomes a problem because that is against the law.
All right. Just before we give our viewers some tips for spending money during this festive season, let's talk about traps that consumers fall into easily during days such as Black Friday.
Consumers fall into a number of traps, one of them being they believe everything they are told. They are told they will be up to 90% discount. But then the trick is in the wording. They are not saying it's 90%. They are saying up to 90%. And you may find that it's actually up to 15%, but it is towards 90%. So as a result, you find that consumers will flock to the malls and shopping centers, and then they'll find that actually half of the goods are not even up to the 90% that has been promised. And then there is also a phenomenon where retailers will advertise stock but then have on fine print that there is limited stock available. If you have come all the way from Soweto to the Mall of Africa to buy that plasma TV, and when you get there they told you, no, we have run out of stock, and back home you have promised the kids, I'm coming back with a plasma TV, you now end up buying the expensive one, which was not the one that you came to buy when you came out to buy. And as a result, you may find yourself being over-indebted and spending above what you had planned for. And then the other thing that happens with days such as this is people falling victims to scams. I have seen a number of scams on social media whereby people are told if you SMS this number, you will win a voucher from this or that retailer. And fortunately, some of the retailers have also reacted very quickly to indicate that they are not party to any of these scams. So consumers must just be very, very careful about such things.
Okay, as I said, the festive season is almost here and people will continue to spend money. Let's just give our viewers 1 or 2 tips on spending money during the festive season.
The first tip that we'll share with consumers is that they need to budget and they need to stick to the budget. And then they need to prioritize the necessities and essentials of life. Because come festive season, people are obsessed with going on holiday, they are obsessed with buying the most expensive booze. But at the same time, they have not bought the school uniform for the kids. They haven't set aside the school fees for the kids, the money for electricity, the money for insurance, the money for rental. So we say people must prioritize the necessities of life. And then lastly, we also say they must be careful that Black Friday should not lead them to blacklisting. Because I can assure you without a fear of contradiction, some consumers will end up being blacklisted because of having partaken in Black Friday, because they will overspend and become over-indebted and will fail to meet their obligations.
Well, that is indeed a sad reality, Brajimi. Thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Right, well, there you have it. Jimmy Kholele is the Acting Manager, Educational Communications from the National Credit Regulator, of course, giving some tips to consumers, saying that many of them, they end up being blacklisted as a result of days such as this Black Friday. Now, we've been doing the rounds and we've seen the excitement really around here, the mall. Let's just talk to one manager from Woolworths, one of the retail shops that are available here, just to get a perspective as to how things have been in terms of the numbers and, of course, in terms of people who came in for shopping. If you can just step forward and join me. Anderson Malefete is, of course, the manager at Woolies. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. How has it been?
A busy day, very hectic, exciting. Our customers love us. You can see South Africans are into Black Friday, so it's been an exciting day for us. Very successful thus far.
And the numbers, really, have you been able to determine the numbers and compare them to the previous year?
Well, not yet, but I can tell you now that I've got too many customers in comparison to every single day. So it's been a very, very busy day for us. But for me to quantify the numbers now is still early for me. But as things are happening now, my day today is not like any other day.
But from the previous Black Fridays, I know this mall has been in existence for 2.5 years. So this is the Black Friday that happens in this mall this year. We've just had a conversation with NCR, the National Credit Regulator. Mr. Kholele basically saying that a number of people, they buy on credit during these days. Do you think that's the case? I mean, you've been here for a while. You may start looking.
Yeah, well, it's a mixture. It's a mixture. We've got some cash-paying customers. We also have some account customers. But to answer the question on the issue of this Black Friday being bigger than the last one, of course it is. And for us as Woolworths, it's because also we've gone big and participated in Black Friday. In the past, we never used to participate, but we participated this year. If you can go into the store, you'll see we've got promotions in foods, we've got promotion in our Connect business, we've got promotion in women's wear, in kids, we've got 3 for 2 in kids. So it has been a very successful day for us.
Let's talk about the marketing perspective of things. I was speaking to a marketing expert earlier on who was saying that everything goes back to great marketing team that retailers have. So I suppose you also sort of had to do a lot of marketing strategies.
Yes, we have a very, very efficient marketing team. So we have started communicating to our customers 2 days before the event. And we've also have special campaigns for our customers that are W Rewards customers. So our loyalty program also caters for our loyal customers. So we have made sure that we communicate with all our customers via social media and also using the database to communicate and be in touch with those customers that belong to us as Woolworths.
All right. Just before we let you go, just take us into your confidence. We told that a baby boy was delivered in your store earlier today.
No, not at all. I don't know where that comes from. I'm the store manager. I've opened this store. If that happened, I'll be the first one to know about it. That's not true.
All right, a number of people were talking about that, but thank you so much indeed for talking to us. Anderson Malefedze is the manager at Woolworths here at the Mall of Africa, of course, talking to us about how business has been so far. Let me just see if I can talk to one or two consumers who are here, just to talk about their experiences as to how things have been, what have they bought and so on. Mama, come talk to me. So tell us, what's your name? Bulela Kasvenda.
Oh, tinalanga nifi Mariandaza. Ndo da African molo ndo do renga. Hey, zwithu zwiko fara zwavudisa. Ende ro rengesa. Ndo renga zwiambaro na grocery. Hey, ndi zwavudi. Iri ko save over January uswika zwino. Zwino ri tadova futhi ra renga nga December for grocery. Aron fushaya nga manda.
Ndizone reboa ngamanda.
Okay, ndizone nani ndo ribuwa.
Reboa. Well, there you have it. One of the consumers here saying that she's actually, saved a lot with all. I was trying to look around here to see who else can we talk to. A number of them are here. Hello, good afternoon. Do you want to talk to us? Come talk to us. Just ambushing them. Good afternoon to you. So you're here buying?
Yes.
Oreka?
Besothenga impahla zabantwana. Besothenga impahla zabantwana.
Thengeli Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay. Usave imali?
Angikho kahle ngoba bekusebenza ngumama wakho umuntu ebekathenga mina bengibakhanga. Yeah, bekhona yakusevile kona.
All right. Okay, so that's the mood really here. So I'm just gonna bring someone here to take this discussion further. Earlier on, we made mention of the fact that the marketing teams are really, working very hard to make sure that this Black Friday becomes a success. I have Kabelo Nchulu here, of course, is the CEO of Your Self Management Through the Line, a marketing agency, to talk to us about the marketing strategies. Everything goes back to marketing, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, of course. I think we take responsibility as marketers for us to be creating a hype behind Black Friday. Because of Black Friday doesn't just happen today. It's been a build-up in marketing platform for over 3 months period, in fact.
So, take us into your confidence. How do marketers do it? What do you look into? Because I would imagine communications is the tool to go. We've seen a number of adverts, in the build-up to Black Friday.
You see, the idea behind Black Friday is because of it just happens just before festive season, and stores have to clear up some old stock. And we're using this platform for us to be able to create a space, create more old stock to move out. And it's for consumers, especially, let's say, an African consumers, they do not know such whereby you can see that every store is actually full. But the question is it really a sale? Because of what you see, you see a placard that says 50%, but there is no communications in terms of a
And I think that's the question really, Kabelo. Is it really a sale? I've seen one that says normal price 5 rands, but you buy 3 for 15 rands, which is the actual price of the item.
Remember that what we will do, we will work as marketers and put up a marketing strategies for us to be able to push sales or take advantage of such platform or such days. So most consumers are not even aware what you want to come and buy on Black Friday because of you need to know, one, what you're going to get. And consumers, because of it gets so packed, they're being irrational on their decisions making. Are you buying something that you really need, or are you just buying because of everyone is taking things, whereby you're going to put it in your house? Yes, the sales were made, but was it really practical for you to use it on a day-to-day basis? More especially that it's a tough time for South Africans. People have been retrenched. We are experiencing a high unemployment rate at this time. And who has been affected the most? It's Africans. And who's actually been targeted for, or who are we targeting for Black Fridays? I mean, you can look around. It's actually your lower earning or the lower LSM income.
I didn't want to racialize it, but from what I have seen, it looks like the majority of consumers here are very own black people, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Of course, Africans are the majority in South Africa. You're looking at over 90%. And for a retail space, for Black Friday to look as a success, we need to communicate. We know that if you're going to sell, you need to have a strategy that has an emotional selling point. We need to communicate effectively to say, take one unit and say, you're making this much discount on it, and only limited offer. But once you're in the store, then everyone wants to get everything, even when it was not on sale. There's no research that was not done before consumers come to the stores. So there's more education that needs to be done by consumers, but from our leg as a marketers, because I don't know which side to be at. For me, it's a successful day. It's a good day at work where we are able to push sales. Stats that show on Black Fridays, stores are experiencing double sale. Every store has been busy. In fact, we've been to a couple of stores where they're saying some of the units have been sold out just for today. And it just shows the impact or what work we have done just to create a hype behind this day, Black Friday.
And I suppose what makes your job as marketers even more easy is the fact that 9 out of 10 consumers are aware of days such as Black Friday, isn't it?
Yes. Like I said, it doesn't just start today. Today is the day, but building up to Black Friday, literally we're starting from this already today. We're already planning out for the next year Black Friday, and it's a communication. It's how do you make Black Friday to become top of mind in consumers, and how can you actually somehow make them say, you know what, on Black Friday I'm going to do this. People are saving for the whole year for them to be able to come today. The only thing is, are they saving to buy something that they really need? Because of stores opens and you see where there's a rush, can you really want it? Our consumers are not even using a platform such as online, which is it gives you more time for you to make rational decisions to say, do I need this? Do I really want it? And what was the cost? So once you get into the store is busy, everyone is pulling things out. You cannot even make rational decisions like you said. An item is 5 rands and we say buy for 3 for 15 rands. How much have you saved? We haven't saved anything. All we did was to create a hype around it.
So, and I suppose there is some space for more education on consumers on such days.
Yes, we need to create an awareness for consumers. And it's very sad that as South Africa, this is a tough times where people are getting retrenched, unemployment is low, and these are the times where we really have to make conscious decisions when we're going to make any purchases. You need to ask yourself, do I really need it? Do I have to come in such a day? Or am I falling into the hype of a marketing gimmicks where I'm just going to get into the store, even in fact use money that I don't have to buy things that I won't need in a long time?
All right, Kabelo, we have to leave it at that. Many thanks there to Kabelo Nchulu. He's the CEO for your sales management and Through the Line marketing agency, talking to us about what goes behind the scene before you see the actual Black Friday. So, of course, taking us into his confidence as to how they go about doing things to market all their products. With that, it's back to you, Peter, in studio.